Time for the only radio show of its kind. Auctioneers of antiques, collectors of cool, veterans of vintage. It's the Donley Auctions Hour on AM 560, The Answer. For the next hour, enjoy great information about buying and selling antiques and collectibles, and some interesting stories. Now, the Donley Auctions Hour.
Welcome to the Donley Auctions Hour. Thank you for joining us. Join us here every Saturday from 1 to 2 p.m. This is the show about something in the auction world, isn't it, Randy? I'm Susan. I'm here with Randy Donley. We're with Donley Auctions. We are located 60 miles west of Chicago in Union, Illinois. We have a huge auction gallery out there in Union, but we want to talk a little bit about today of how we got started. Hi, Randy.
Hey, sweetie. How are you doing today?
I'm good. Let's talk about the history of Donley Auctions and who we are. How the heck did we get on this radio show?
We actually got our own radio show simply because we were advertisers, or still are, on the Sean Thompson show right here at 560. And Sean actually suggested, we've been doing commercials with him for so long. He really suggested that we have our own show, and here we are.
Yes, thank you, Sean. This has really been a great time. So we want to talk a little bit about who we are out in Union, Illinois, and what we do and what we can do for you.
Well, Susan, I'm not trying to repeat our shows. However, so many listeners have said, well, we didn't hear your first shows and everything. We're now tuned into you, and we listen to you every week. Thank you. But they don't know, what the first show was. And rather than repeating that.
Who are you people?
Yeah. So many, many, many people know us from the Wild West Town.
That's right.
The Donley family opened up the Wild West Town in 1974.
That's right.
But our experience in antiques goes way back before even the Wild West Town. My father, Larry Donley, was a big-time collector of antique phonographs and music boxes, and he started the very first phonograph club in the country. And from there, he branched into so many different fields of collecting that at one point, when he was 50 years old, he said, I'm done. I was an auto mechanic for years, and I want a new change in my life, and I'm going to build a Wild West Town.
Yeah, he's like Ray Kroc. Let's do it when we're 50. Something new.
And it was so crazy. Like, what are you doing, Larry?
I took my kids there when they were little. It was their first pony ride at the Wild West Town. So we have a lot of nostalgic memories from your family's business.
Sure.
And then I'm driving by one day, and there's a sign up there that says banquet manager wanted. So I just happened to come in when you guys were running weddings and fundraisers and all kinds of stuff.
The Wild West Town got so busy.
Yes.
The Wild West Town, again, there since 1974, was a great, kids park, theme park and everything. But it needed a food operation. So we expanded into having both a restaurant and banquet hall on the same property. Mm-hmm. And yes, that's where I met you.
That's where I found you, for sure. Everything just grew from there. We were holding, remember, Turkey Testicle Festival, and I did about 70 weddings a year. And one time we did an auction. Well, we did several auctions for other people, really. We were doing auctions for other companies. And you were ready for a change in your career also. So I said, quit micromanaging me, Donley.
Yeah.
Go to auctioneer school. Because we did so well at those auctions, and I knew you loved it.
Yeah.
So
exactly. And, again, we had been doing auctions, hiring auctioneers and everything for years all over the city of Chicago. We would go in and do complete buildings. I mean, I used Medina Temple always as an example. It was one of our biggest, but we sold one bank building, 28 floors of equipment, all the way to the bones of that building. And it was just so intense being away and off location all the time. It was a lot of work. And when you made the suggestion, stay home and run auctions right out of the banquet hall. That was a life-changing moment.
It really was. Yeah. It really was. And then we had an auction. It was really, I'd have to say, our first big auction. We did some smaller ones prior to that. And it was really your daughter, Shauna, and I, and you and a couple other people trying to figure out how to run an auction company. So we pulled together the Grateful Dead Family Affair. Remember that auction in 2014, I think it was. And that changed everything for us. It was phenomenal. Yeah. Just an amazing auction. So we ran out all the weddings. Yeah. Because I had them booked out for 2 years.
Yeah, incredible.
So we flushed it. Sometimes we were even doing a wedding, tear it down, set up an auction, tear it down, set up a wedding. It was crazy.
It was
so we had
much.
to make a decision. I think we made the right one, don't you?
Well, without a doubt. I mean, auctions is my life, and buying and selling antiques has been my entire life.
Right.
I mean,
this is a perfect fit for you.
Again, it was a family affair of going to shows and flea markets and, and auctions.
Right. And I was getting too old to MC Turkey Testicle Festival anymore, so I kind of needed to move on as well. So that's how we ended up here. So tell them the type of auctions that we do hold. They're not just your everyday run-of-the-mill estate sale.
They're really not. Well, I always refer to them as an event, because we do set up a complete live auction, even though we could be doing this online only. We do sell, ladies and gentlemen, at a live auction at our facility, but we're also online all over the world. We're on 4 online websites, and so you can bid online. And we have customers from all over,
all over the world.
I mean,
yes.
Korea, China.
Australia's big, yep.
UK, I mean, just
it depends on what we're selling, too, because, the antique market, a lot of those American-made antique phonographs are leaving the country.
Well, they are because, at that period of time, they didn't exist over there.
Right.
Our antiques, I mean, weren't being made, overseas at that period of time. So it's quite a novelty to be able to buy things like Edison phonographs and bring them back to Seoul, South Korea.
That's right. How many auctions a year would you say we hold?
Oh, I don't know, 30 probably, but one major a month.
One major auction per month, usually in the middle of the month, 2 days on a weekend. Mm-hmm. So you can come out to our facility out in Union, Illinois, 60 miles west of Chicago, and you can sit in a comfortable air-conditioned or heated facility, tables and chairs. It's my old banquet hall. It's where I used to hold weddings. You can, got a big dance floor and everything if you wanted to do that in between.
Not anymore. But, and again, there's no admission. It doesn't cost anything to come in. And we always have complimentary lunch and beverage. We're not trying to get you to spend money just to come there. Come and just have a fun experience. And if you see something you like, obviously you can buy it.
That's right. And some of the auctions we're doing throughout the year include firearms, ammunition, and military. That's kind of one category, I would say. Some of the other ones we do antique music. That involves music boxes, instruments, audio equipment, radios, really anything music related. That's another category. Tell us some more.
Oh, my goodness.
My favorite.
We love to do, antique cars.
Yes, thank you.
Cars, motorcycles, and Petroliana. And, we throw these terms around, Petroliana, like you're supposed to know what that even means. But Petroliana being anything that has to do car-related, like gas pumps or big porcelain signs that used to be in front of gas stations or repair shops.
They just sell
and
so well. Everybody's, putting them in their man caves and she sheds, right? So
she shed is a new term.
It's a new term.
Yeah.
So advertising sells really well. We always have 2 big auctions a year, April and November, where we're looking for Petroliana cars, motorcycles. How about the coin-op category? That is a great one.
Oh, my goodness. Coin-op is phenomenal.
Coin-operated machines.
Coin-operated, yes, thank you. And whether it's pinball machines or slot machines or Nickelodeons or scales, I mean, just anything that requires a coin is coin-op.
Right.
And it all sells well.
Remember that auction we had with all those gumball machines and vending machines? And we had hundreds and hundreds of them.
Well, that's what's always so interesting is because all these fields have different price points. Mm-hmm. If you want to spend as little as $50 or $100, there's something there for you. If you're an advanced collector, spending tens of thousands of dollars, we have that quality also.
That's right. So keep that in mind. We do hold auctions every month. We hold online-only auctions for some bigger collections that it's just a little bit more convenient to do them online only, so we get a lot of eyes on our auctions. We're going to talk more in this show today about how to consign with Donley Auctions, what we can do for you, how we're going to evaluate your items. People need to know what their items are worth. You know, that's just a big question mark in a lot of people's lives. I don't know what it's worth. They're asking us, tell me what to do. We'll give you that information in this show today. One thing I do want to touch base on real quick, too, is all the job opportunities in our fast-growing company.
And that is absolutely right, Susan. The company is growing so fast. There's so much merchandise coming to auction that we're always looking for new staff.
That's right. We'll talk about that next, coming up in our next segment. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to the Donley Auctions Hour here on AM 560, The Answer.
They've been called auctioneers of antiques, collectors of cool, even veterans of vintage. And they can introduce themselves. Thanks for listening. This is the Donley Auctions Hour on AM 560, The Answer.
Welcome back to the Donley Auctions Hour. I'm Susan. I'm here with Randy Donley. We are owners of Donley Auctions, an auction company in Union, Illinois. We're 60 miles west of Chicago, out by the Wild West town. We're talking today about how Donley Auctions got started, a little bit of history, and what we do.
Right.
So
we're actually, hey, Susan, we're actually recapping, past shows because we've had so many requests from our listeners to repeat some of this information. So here it goes, right?
That's right. We want to let you know who we are, what we do, what we can do for you, and how to get in touch with us. We'll talk about that in our show today. Right now, I want to focus on the opportunities we have at our company. We're growing so fast. You know, we hold auctions every month, one big auction every month, but we're also sprinkling in all these little online auctions, which can happen on a Tuesday night, a Sunday night, any other time. But we're growing so fast that we need to increase our auction calendar. So we are hiring, and here's what we're doing.
Well, we're looking for, anybody, of course, with hopefully auction experience if you've ever worked in another auction
or even
hall.
just like auctions, been to an auction, or like history, antiques.
Right, but and any form of auction work that we're doing right now. I mean, right on down to we even hire auctioneers. I mean,
right,
always looking for.
And you yourself are an auctioneer.
That I am.
That's right.
But we need more, and but especially. We need people right now working on our website. We need web designers and specialists that can help us in that field.
Right, and that involves like the marketing and promotions of our auction. So that kind of all ties together into marketing, advertising, social media. We're always looking for people who know more than we do when it comes to getting the word out to our potential buyers, and our consigners need to know that we are working very hard for them to promote the items that we're selling. So graphic design falls into that category, website development, advertising, marketing, social media. Those are big ticket items right now.
But one more thing, Susan, we're looking for describers, people that have a general knowledge of antiques who can also very computer literate, because you have to do a lot of research, because when a collection comes in, we can't just, give it a one-line description saying, oh, this is a paper cup. I mean, we need to be able to research and really write a nice description about each and every item.
Because the buyers need to know, first of all, what's the condition of the item? We got to talk about the flaws. We got to measure it. We do our best to really describe everything, and that takes the longest. And we really need people who know how to do that, who know how to spell, who have grammar skills, who know how to do research, who can look at an item and estimate its value.
Sure. So
we always are hiring for that. We've got on staff right now, tell them who we have on staff with our clock experts. We have a clock expert.
Oh, without a doubt. We try to have experts in every field.
Right.
I mean, we do have a person strictly doing art and oil paintings and so on. I have military people that There's specialists who do uniforms only. One person, all he specializes in is bayonets.
Bayonets,
you know.
yes.
And so we've got specialists in every field. We just got consigned a really nice a boat, and I've got a boat specialist.
That's right.
Whether it's cars, boats, petroleana, we have to have people in each and every field that really know their merchandise.
That's right. How about we have the radio guy, we call him. The radio guy came in and described all those wonderful vintage radios that we have.
The political woman doing political items.
Political collection.
It's so funny. Yeah. So we're always looking for experts. If you have expertise in your own hobby or specialize, please give us a call.
Give us a call at 815-923-7000. You can email us at Donley, Donley, auctions with an S at outlook.com. Let us know what you enjoy doing. I'm sure we can find a job for you. Most jobs that we do have are trainable. We can train people, except for the expertise, and the knowledge of certain collections, right? But all the other jobs that we have we have to train you if you've never been in the auction industry. We would expect you to have graphic design, advertising, and marketing experience, but there'll be some level of training on our end as well. The other critical piece we have is in our shipping department. We ship all of our items.
Exactly. I never thought we'd be in the shipping business.
I know, I didn't either.
It's a necessary evil of the auction world in that we sell so much online. It sells all over the world. So we've become creators and shippers.
That's right. We ship everything except for big, oversized items, but we also are the middleman between our customers and a third-party transport company. But we do all of that. It's a great service we provide. Our consigners know that they can trust us to actually get it to the buyers. So that's another position we have in our shipping department. Another one of my favorite jobs is actually coordinating the auctions itself. You think about when an item comes in the door, we have to tag it, inventory it, photograph it, describe it, lot it, upload it. There's all kinds of things that have to be done with one item. So I'm always looking for people who have an eye for detail.
And in the meantime, all of those items, each and every item probably gets moved four times. Oh, my gosh. So I always am looking for pushers and shovers,
general
people,
labor. Mm-hmm.
People who can move stuff. And, it's a skill.
That's right.
Because you really have to know what you're doing when you're, moving around antiques.
Right. Like clocks even, you can't just shove it across the floor. There's certain things, we'll have to show you how we handle the merchandise as well. But we do have a lot of job opportunities. I'm looking for full-time people, but I can also do part-time because it helps being flexible in today's world. That's for sure.
So, what else are we going to bring up here? We just have so much merchandise coming in all the time.
I have a question for you, Randy. Do you have a favorite item that we've ever sold at auction?
Well,
we've sold so much stuff. Is there one that is of particular interest?
I have to say that I like historic. I like items that just have so much meaning in history. And even though we want this to be a more generic show, we have an item coming up that I just have to talk about, and that's the JFK collection.
Oh, yes.
It's not being sold for quite a while. It won't be sold probably
for months.
Probably until November, because November is the 60th anniversary of the Kennedy assassination.
That's right.
But we have a complete collection, a huge collection, all going as one lot. And it is the Monty Lutz collection, is what I'll call it. Monty Lutz was a specialist in forensics where he did all the ballistics testing and everything for the second generation of the Kennedy investigation, which took place in the 70s. And he not only did the Kennedy assassination, but he also did the Martin Luther King assassination. And we have all of his notes and information and photographs.
Great provenance with that.
All one. So to me, that's probably going to be my all-time favorite when that sells.
Oh, wow. Yeah, we'll tell you more about that, always go to our website at donleyauctions.com if you ever want to see what auctions we do have coming up. We always provide a little red button. You can't miss it. That'll take you to the catalog when it's available online. But right now, keep in mind, we are hiring. We are a fast-growing company out in Union, Illinois. You're never going to be bored. You're never going to be bored at our place. That's for sure.
No, every day is a different challenge and a lot of fun at the same time. And you just see some of the most incredible history pass through our doors.
That's right. It's a lot of fun. Would be happy to talk to you. Give us a call at 815-923-7000. I do immediate interviews. You know, I look at the person and see if they're a good fit, and then we find out what you like to do and find you a job within Donley Auctions. So keep that in mind. Give us a call, 815-923-7000, or email us at Donley, DONLEY, auctions@outlook.com. We'd love to hear from you. Coming up next, don't go anywhere. We're going to talk about the types of auctions that we hold, things that we're looking for, mainly trying to help you decide what to do with your collections, because we'll take one item or an entire collection. You are listening to the Donley Auctions Hour right here on AM 560, The Answer.
You're listening to the Donley Auctions Hour on AM 560, The Answer.
Welcome back to the Donley Auctions Hour. I'm Susan. I am co-owner of Donley Auctions in Union, Illinois, here today with Randy Donley. We're talking about Donley Auctions, how we got started, where we came from, and what services we can provide to all of our listeners out there.
Yeah, you know, Susan, today is we're repeating a lot of things that we've talked about in the past for our first-time listeners who might not be familiar with our show.
That's right. We're hoping you're taking notes out there.
You know, every week we're gaining audience, and we really appreciate so many people sticking with us.
Thank you, Sean Thompson, for recommending the Donley Auctions Hour. So that's why we're here on the radio.
Without a doubt, Sean is a classic in himself. But, you know, the one thing that people always want to know is, you know, how do I go about consigning?
That's right.
You know, if you have items at home and, you know, you've inherited or you have a collection of your own or anything, it's a very, very simple process to get a hold of us. You know, simply either call or go to our website.
That's right. We try to keep it simple because most people who do call us, they're overwhelmed. I don't know what to do with this stuff. I have a whole storage full of stuff.
Yeah,
my grandpa left me and our grandma passed away. And what do we do with all this? Just send us some photos. You know, that's the main thing. We just got to see what you have, or let's set up an appointment. And, you know, you guys travel all over the country. We'll go see what you have. And then the Donley crew will give you an honest evaluation of what you have. And we'll talk about next steps. It's really pretty easy.
You know, we try to be problem solvers.
Right.
You know, and unfortunately, collecting has created a lot of problems for people over the years. They've accumulated so much, you know, stuff. And how do you sell it fast enough? I mean, piecing collections out one at a time.
I know.
It
takes a long time.
A daunting task. And it takes forever. It could take a lifetime to sell off a collection or more. Well,
that's a good point, because when someone does consign an entire collection to us, we pay out our consigners based on an agreed-upon commission within 30 days.
You bet.
And then we make it fit in their wallet or their purse.
An entire collection, you know, can sell. And
that easy.
You know, we're talking some serious money here, folks, you know, with the average collection. But people say to me all the time, well, what kind of items are you looking for? Well, we never know, for one thing. It's always amazing to find out what people did collect. So, you know, you simply have to get a hold of us.
Let me tell you about the call we got the other day. He just had some sports memorabilia. Okay, great. Come to find out, he's got a whole storage facility of arcade games. So you never know until we start talking to people. What else do you have? You know, we can help you with these. Oh, we didn't know you did pinball machines, yes, that's what we do.
Exactly. And that's why I, bring up the list. We're always looking for the obvious items like coin-operated items of any kind.
Even modern ones.
Oh, without a doubt. Modern coin-op can bring a lot more than the antiques even.
Right.
But whether it's coin-operated or cars, motorcycles, antique architecture, go back to Petroliana, gas pumps, porcelain signs, all these great items. Antique architecture. I'm going to pick up a set of doors next week like you have never seen before, Susan.
From what, a house?
No, yes, a house. It came out of a big Chicago mansion. So I will have provenance with this incredible set of doors. So they're going to be repurposed into somebody's, home. They will be building a mansion of their own and have to have the best of the best. And we're going to have them available. So, antique architecture of all kinds, especially big chandeliers out of movie theaters and this type of thing, or again, mansions and homes.
We definitely have a market for those types of items. That's mainly why we're focusing in on telling you the specific things, because we have already got a market. We've already been proven in our sales on these types of things. Continue on.
And we do sell all over the world, but
right.
Again, it doesn't stop there. Antique barber shop and general store items, soda fountain items, advertising of all kinds.
One of my favorite items are those cigar cutters and cigar lighters in our Tobacciana category. So that's also some really good sellers there.
You got it. And it continues. I mean, just the, again, variety. We're always looking for firearms, ammo, military relics, uniforms, and edged weapons, knife collections, and we get into antique, modern, and hunting weapons of all kinds. Of course, we have an FFL.
That's right.
So we're handling all of the state and federal requirements for you. When you turn in firearms to us to sell, it's being done legally.
That's right, and we'll walk you through the process. Give us a call at 815-923-7000. We'd like to talk to you about your gun collections. But again, if it's one item, several items, because we want to make sure you feel safe. We'll talk to you about coming to pick it up, depending on where you're located, and we'll tell you how to safely transport those items to our facility if that's necessary. We do carry a federal firearms license, so we know all the rules and regulations, and we are very strict about them. So keep that in mind. Specific items we're looking for at Donley Auctions. Go to our website at donleyauctions.com. But don't go anywhere. We're going to talk about auctions coming up, some other specific items we're looking for, other job opportunities. But stay tuned right here, Donley Auctions Hour, every Saturday, AM 560, The Answer.
And now, more of the Donley Auctions Hour on AM 560. The Answer.
We are back with the Donley Auctions Hour. Thanks for sticking with us during that break. I'm Susan. I'm co-owner of Donley Auctions in Union, Illinois, here with my partner, Randy Donley. Hi, Randy.
Hey, Susan.
We are talking today about Donley Auctions in general, a little bit about the history, where we came from, and how we got here today. We talked already about the many job opportunities we have at our company. We are growing so fast. We're always looking for good people. The best thing I love about our company is our employees. Our employees are fantastic. So we'd love to keep adding to that team. But in this segment, we're going to talk about how to bid at an auction. That's the fun part. We do all this work, and then auction day comes around. It's like an event, isn't it?
It is. And, it's so funny that there are so many people who have never bid at an auction.
Or have never been to our place for an auction.
Incredible.
So we want to keep it simple. That people are kind of intimidated, and the first thing they ask is, how much is it? It doesn't cost anything to come to an auction. It's free admission. Really, you walk in the door, you come out to our facility. We got plenty of parking, and all we require is a driver's license.
Right. We would like to know who's walking in the door.
We got to know for security purposes who's coming in. You complete a little registration form, and we give you a bidder number.
Doesn't mean you have to bid, though.
Doesn't mean you have to bid, and be careful if you do raise it up. We have a live auction in our facility, tables and chairs. We offer complimentary coffee and donuts if anything, come out for the coffee and donuts, right? And we
And
do
lunch,
have
yeah.
lunch and beer and wine and pop and water. We want it to be a comfortable experience for you and to have fun. So you can come out and bid live. The fees involved, there's a buyer premium that we charge when you check out. Make sure everybody is aware of that. And, of course, good old Illinois state sales tax if you come to our facility. That's one way you can bid at our auctions.
Or absentee.
An absentee bid. Tell them what an absentee bid is, Randy.
Absentee is really so simple. You come in and either you view it, in person, and simply leaving your bids with us. At which time we would bid, live as if you're here.
Right, up to your max.
Exactly.
We don't start at your max.
No. We start with the live bidding and hopefully, get you items for less than you're willing to pay for it. That's the objective. But absentee, you can also send in absentee bids to us.
That's right. You can email them to us at donleyauctions@outlook.com. We do want to have your absentee bids documented as well as phone bids so that we're not making any mistakes and bidding on the wrong items for you or buying something you weren't intending to buy. That has happened before due to, miscommunication on the phone or a wrong number. So email us that information for absentee bids.
And you'll be able to see all these items online. So it's very simple, to see. You don't have to come in person, although we like you to, because we have the entire catalog up on our website at DonleyAuctions.com.
That's right.
And I want to spell Donley again. I had one person say, I can't get on. And he was spelling Donley incorrectly. Donley is the simplest version, which is Donley. There's no double N's or double L's or any of that.
Right. So, make sure you get that right. DonleyAuctions.com. That's where you're going to get most of your information. Absentee bids and phone bids need to be emailed to us. So a phone bid is my favorite thing at the auction. I handle your phone bid. I get on the phone with you and pretend like you're standing right next to me, and I bid on your behalf. And I always tell people, I go, you have two things to say. You either say yes or I'm out. There's no other conversation. Serious business, folks. I'm bidding for you, and I don't want to say yep to the auctioneer and accidentally spend your money. So I do love our phone bids. Again, we reserve our phone lines for $500 in value and up.
Right. Yeah.
So
we
again,
can't sit there all day bidding on every item.
Oh, boy. Yeah. But we did once. We learned from that. We sat on the phone all day long with a buyer in Korea. Remember that?
Seoul, South Korea.
It was like 3 in the morning.
And every item.
Every item. Yes. International phone call.
Yep.
So we're more specific now. We'll take your phone bids on $500 and up, but we'll take absentee bids on everything. So when people say, I'm sorry, I'm going to miss your auction. Well, actually, that's no excuse. You can bid online. You can send us absentee bids. And, of course, if you're driving to go somewhere else with your family, I'll get on the phone with you. It's great. Auctions are a lot of fun. We really hope you can come out and see one for yourself.
And did we cover the online bidding yet?
We can talk about online bidding.
Online is as easy as it gets because when you go to DonleyAuctions.com, you'll be able to see the entire catalog. Yeah, there's a red button there, for the catalog, and it'll show you each and every item and what the current bids are in live time. So traditionally, the online bidding starts about 2 weeks before our auction. So you can be bidding on items, and actually having fun of the auction weeks before the auction even starts. And it's, again, very simple process. Once you get online, it'll be very, self-explanatory.
Very simple, yes, because we do use third-party bidding platforms like AuctionZip, Live Auctioneers, Invaluable, ProxyBid. So that button takes you directly to their website. You register through the company. You have to provide a credit card. That's just for, payment purposes at the end. Try to keep it very simple and convenient for everyone. And you can see the catalog. You can actually search for items. Sometimes our catalogs are not in perfect order, but you can search for example, like arcade games, and it'll pull everything up in the catalog under arcade or stock ticker or whatever you might, a Colt revolver, whatever you're looking for. It's very easy.
But realistically, our auctions are under 1,000 items, so it's fun to go through the entire catalog.
That's right. So we've talked about job opportunities at Donley Auctions, how to bid at an auction. Coming up next, we're going to talk about how to consign. Again, we want to make sure you understand the specific items we're looking for and how easy we'll make this process for you. Donley Auctions is here. You're listening to the Donley Auctions Hour every Saturday, AM 560, The Answer.
The Donley Auctions Hour continues now on AM 560, The Answer.
We are back with the Donley Auctions Hour, talking about Donley Auctions. Susan and Randy here with Donley Auctions in Union, Illinois. Hi, Randy.
Hey, Susan. You know, we're really trying to focus in on getting people to know who and what Donley Auctions is.
Right, and what we do and how we can help you solve problems.
You know, and especially if this is the first time you're listening to the show, you need to know some of the fundamentals, and that's what we're, going over today. Now, items that we're always looking for, are, sometimes pretty obvious, because anything good in antiques, whether it's one item or an entire collection, we can help you sell these items for top dollar.
That's right. Give them an idea of what's hot in the industry today.
Oh, my goodness. Well, I have to say the best of the best in any field is always hot. But
rare items, good quality.
But, the easiest things to sell right now in the auction industry are cars, motorcycles, any Petroliana items, porcelain signs, gas pumps, and these type of things. But also, I have to say, one of the best, items for auction is firearms.
Right.
Firearms and military memorabilia.
Right. Currently, we started out with 1 or 2 a year. I think we're up to 4 or 5 firearm and military auctions per year. So we're always looking down the road for firearms and military items.
And one of the reasons people right now are selling, especially in Illinois, selling so many firearms is because, the laws here are changing rapidly.
That's right.
And
we're staying on top of it because we do carry our own FFL, Federal Firearms License. So Neil, our gun expert, is on top of all of those regulations.
So we make sure that we do everything legally
By
for
the book.
you. Yep.
ATF, are you listening?
Well, yeah, I want everybody to know.
That's right.
And but again, because of the changing laws and everything, we are getting so many firearm auctions or collections coming into us.
Some of our favorite items that we've had in these auctions are the items with the provenance. So explain the importance of that with any item.
Any type of antiques that you have, the story, the history behind it, who owned it previously, how it came into your possession. I mean, the provenance, which is the story behind it, is sometimes as important as the item itself. So
that's right. And it can even be just typed up if something in the family and you know the story, get it down in writing because all of that still adds to the value.
Yeah. So, but, beyond the obvious, I mean, we're still looking for antique architecture, carousel animals, kiddie rides, you name it. There's just so many things. But, it's such a wide variety of what we do. We actually also do a lot of coins and jewelry. So if you have collections of these things, please call us.
That's right. Donley Auctions is here to help you solve problems. We provide a lot of services. For those of you who don't know what to do with your items, you got a storage locker full, a basement full, a house full, give us a call at 815-923-7000.
Or go to our website, that's donleyauctions.com, and you will be able to find a link that'll help you fill out a little application that you can send to us. And,
the main thing we just need pictures, really. We need to see it. And then we'll call you and work out the next steps, discuss delivery, whatever we need to do to make sure your collection fits in your wallet. So tune in next week. Donley Auctions will have a show about something. We're here every Saturday on AM 560, The Answer. For now, I'm Susan.
And I'm Randy Donley.
And we'll see you at the auction.
Thanks for listening to the Donley Auctions Hour on AM 560, The Answer. Check out all the latest information on upcoming auctions and collectibles at DonleyAuctions.com. And while you're there, you can contact someone about buying or selling your collectibles or estates. That's DonleyAuctions.com.